Hi everyone, I'm Heather. Welcome to Strings and Threads, streaming to you from my dungeon of dreams. Join me in the magical world of crochet, knitting, and all things yarn. If you're a fellow yarn enthusiast, hit that subscribe button and become part of our creative journey. Let's dive into today's project. Hi, I'm Heather. This is Strings and Threads. This is a video tutorial for the scarflet. And what I'm going to use for that, the materials I'm going to use for that is the Mary Maxim Pure Cotton. You're welcome to use whatever you want. This is going to create a skinnier, smaller scarflet, and I'm going to use an F crochet hook, which is a 3.75 millimeter. And you'll need scissors. But whatever yarn you use, if you decide to use something thicker, I would see what size crochet hook they would recommend for that, and also know that if you're using thicker yarn, it will probably end up being bigger, not longer, not necessarily longer. It probably will end up being longer, but thicker and, wider. So it will be bigger than what I have. So, you can adjust your stitches maybe for that. To get started, we're going to start with a slip stitch. And this is an easy tutorial if you know how to crochet. This does not teach you how to crochet in this tutorial. So what you'll need to know single crochet, double crochet. You'll need to be able to know how to do that and chain independently. I'm also assuming that you already know a slip stitch. I'm trying to go slow here just in case you wanted to see how I did my slip stitches. But we're going to start off with just chaining 2. And then we're going to put 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, which is the first chain that you made. So 1 single crochet there. And then we're going to turn. In this row, we only have 1 stitch. We're going to chain 1 and put 2 single crochets in this 1 stitch, which some people call an increase. So 2 single crochets or an increase in this stitch. And then we'll turn. And you're going to chain 1. And you're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch or increase, whatever you would prefer to call it. And then 2 single crochets into the last stitch in the row. Or if you prefer to say increase on the last stitch, same thing. And then turn. Okay, this next row, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put an increase or 2 single crochets into this first stitch, 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 in this one, 1 in this one, and then 2 in the last one, or an increase in the last one. If you're curious what the pattern is here, we're going to continue putting an increase in the first and the last stitch of each row until we have 14 in the row. And then when we're at 14, that's when we're going to start the Lacy pattern. So turn. In this next round, 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in each of the next 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. 1, I could see a piece of my hair got into the yarn. My hair gets in everything. 2, well, I'm going to ignore it. Hopefully you can ignore it too. 3, 4, and then 2 single crochets or an increase in the last stitch. Oops. Okay, so we're going to follow the same pattern. Sorry, I pulled this through. I had to put this down for a minute and take care of something. You know, life happens. So we're going to follow that same pattern until we get 14 stitches total. I think we're at 8 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So we'll do 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the stitches until we get to the last stitch, and we'll put an increase or 2 single crochets in that last stitch. We should be at 10 at the end of this row. So we're almost there. I think it's, what, 2 more rows after this? I know I apologize this for all the time, for every video tutorial that I do, but I notice when I watch other people's video tutorials that they have fancy nails and fancy hands. You know, they make everything look so wonderful. But unfortunately, I've been doing a lot of, well, not unfortunately, unfortunately, we've been doing a lot of home renovations, and so I'm doing a lot of painting and staining and nailing and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So my hands cannot be all spiffied up. You know, you could see I have cuts, I have stains. I promise my hands are clean. They're just stained from all of the paint and all of the stains that we've been using. All right, so now we're at 10. We're going to turn, and we're going to do the same pattern. 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in each stitch leading up to the last stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the last stitch. This should put us at 12. Yeah, so, I mean, I wish I could be so fancy like everybody else, but hopefully it's not off-putting to you. Hopefully you're here for the video and not for beautiful fingernails. Oops. I'm looking through the camera as I'm doing this. I'm not looking directly at my hands. So it is a little bit slower for me to do it this way, but I think it's okay, because then if you need to see what I'm doing, you get a good view of what I'm doing. And then this next row should be the last row, not this one right here, but the next one we're about to do should be the last row. We should be at 14. It's not the last row total of the project, but the last row until we start the lacy stitch. Okay, so turn, and we're going to do what we've been doing. Put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in all of the other stitches leading up to the last stitch, and then put 2 single crochets in the last stitch. I'm going to count this out just to make sure that it's 14, but I'm pretty sure this row should add up to 14. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, of course it decides to not. Let's see if I can pull that out quick. If I can't, oh, there we go. Thank goodness. I was going to turn it off if I couldn't. 11, 12, and then this last stitch will be 14, 13, 14, and then we'll turn, and we're going to start row 1 of the lacy stitch. It's a 2-row repeat. So I'll have a bookmark right coming up when I do this row 1, and then I'll have a bookmark for row 2. And if you need to keep seeing that repeated, then you can just keep going back to that bookmark to refresh what you're doing. But we're just going to repeat those 2 rows until we have the length that we want. So let me come back for row 1. Okay, this is row 1 of the repeat. I'll do 4 rows of this, so I'll do row 1 and 2 of the repeat, then I'll do the repeat again, because then you can see how it looks on the pattern itself, and then we'll pause it, or you can keep coming back to rewatch. I'll make sure these are chapters, and we'll get that. So chain 1, we're going to skip the first stitch and put a single crochet into the second stitch. We're going to skip 1 stitch and put 3 double crochets in the next. So we're working in every other stitch. 3 double crochets into that same stitch. Sorry again, I'm looking through the camera and it's not as easy to crochet looking through a camera than it is looking at your hand. Okay. And then we're going to skip 1 stitch and put a single crochet in the next. Skip 1 stitch. And put 3 double crochets in the next stitch. We're skipping this one and going to the next 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, skip 1 stitch, and then put a single crochet in the next. Skip 1 stitch, put 3 double crochets in the next. Skip 1 stitch, and then put a single crochet in the last stitch. Turn. Okay, for this second row of the repeat, we're going to chain 2 in the single crochet of the row before. You're going to put a double crochet, chain 1, and then another double crochet all into that single crochet from the row before. And then the next part here are the 3 double crochets. You're going to put a single crochet on top of the middle stitch. You're going to do, in this next single crochet from the row before, you're going to put a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then in the middle double crochet of this 3, you're going to put a single crochet. Double crochet, chain 1, in double crochet into the single crochet from the row before. So again, that's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And then the row before has 3 double crochets in a row. You're going to put a single crochet in the middle one. And then to end, we're at the single crochet here. You're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then turn. Okay, this is row 1 again, but I'm showing you how it looks once we already have the pattern started. So you'll start by chaining 1, and we have the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet from the row before. You're going to put your single crochet right into the chain between the 2 double crochets. And then we have the double crochet here, or not I'm sorry, the single crochet, which was on top of the group of 3. This is going to get the group of 3 again. It's going to get 3 double crochets. And then we're going to put a single crochet in the chain space between the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Just put a single crochet right in that chain space. The single crochet from the row before, you're going to put 3 double crochets into that. And then we have the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet again. And we're going to put a single crochet right in between, right where the chain 1 is. And then for the single crochet, you're going to put 3 double crochets into that single crochet. I'll do one more row with you, and then we're just going to continue this until it's the length that you want. When I come back, I'll measure how long I did mine, in case you wanted to do it the same length as mine. And we're just going to go by measurements rather than row. So here it ends with a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. We'll put a single crochet in the middle of that, and then turn. Okay, so this is the last repeat that I'm going to show you. So we're going to chain 2, and in the single crochet, first single crochet, we're going to put a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet all into that single crochet. And then we're going to put a single crochet in the middle double crochet of this 3. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the single crochet from the row before. Again, that's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And then the next is the group of 3 double crochets from the row before. You're going to put a single crochet in the middle one. Oops. Wants to get stuck. Again, I know I'm moving a little bit on the slower side, but hopefully it's not too slow for you. If so, you can skip ahead. All right, in the single crochet, you can double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then there's the group of 3 double crochets. You're going to put a single crochet in the middle one. And then in the last single crochet, you're going to put a double crochet, chain 1, and then another double crochet onto that same single crochet, and then turn. And we're just going to repeat this pattern again until it's the length that you want. Or when I come back with my length, I'll let you know the length of what I did in case you wanted to do it the same length. And then we're going to end kind of the same way as here with decreases instead of increases, so that that comes down to a point. So meet me back here when it's the length you want, or if you want to hang in and wait to see how long I did it, then you can do that as well. All right, we're getting ready to do our decreases here. I had to change color because I only had one of the pink. So it's still the same kind of yarn. I just had to use a different color because that's all I had available. So I measured this, and this is before we do the ending decrease. So our other end will match this end. I'm at 45 inches so far before the decrease, which is about 114.5 centimeters. Again, you can make it whatever length you want. You don't have to do it my length, but that's just what I have worked up. Now, the way that this pattern works, it kind of goes, your rows kind of go back and forth between 15 and 13 stitches. So this is the row, I ended the row here where you do a single crochet and then do 3 into the previous single crochet, then single crochet, so on. So this ends with 13 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you ended on the other row, then you have 15 stitches. So if I'm going to suggest that you end here on this row. I'm going to count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 right here, 13. So what I'm going to do is just add an extra stitch, so I'm at 14. We're going to just single crochet them together. I know it seems ridiculous, but it just helps keep the stitches even. If you wanted to end on the other row, I suppose you can just leave out the last stitch. I don't know. I think it's easier just to add one more stitch than to try to figure out the other way. So we're going to do kind of the opposite of what we did in the beginning. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet 2 together. What you do is you go into the first stitch and then go into the second stitch, and then you finish your single crochet. And then we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the other stitches until you get to the last 2 stitches, and then you'll single crochet the last 2 stitches together. And I think since we have been really, going over how to do this, I'll do one more row with you, and then I'm just going to have you continue that pattern until you're down to your last stitch, and then you'll just, cut a little tail, finish it off, weave in the ends, and then you'll be finished. Okay, so I'm at the last 2 stitches now. So you go into the first stitch, pull through, go into the next stitch, pull through, and then finish your single crochet, and that's a decrease. So if we count here, we should be at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, good. So one more row. We'll be down to 10 at the end of this row. Chain 1, single crochet 2 together, or decrease if you want to call it that. 1 single crochet in each of the stitches until you get to the last 2, and then you single crochet the last 2 together. So from the rows here on out, you're going to put a decrease in the first 2 and the last 2 stitches of every row. Okay, so here's the last 2. I'm going to single crochet them together. Keep following that pattern until you're down to 1 stitch, like this corner, and then cut a little tail, and then finish it off and weave in the ends, and then come back. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. It lets YouTube know that you like this kind of content, and it helps me to be able to create more. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.